All right. Aloha and welcome to the 10th annual I Teach 808 Empowering Hawaii's Teachers in Technology Conference, sponsored by the Augustine Educational Foundation and Sacred Hearts Academy in Honolulu. My name is Melissa and I'll be facilitating this session. We are so honored to have Katie and Kylee MacLean join us today to share their expertise through a 90-minute presentation about the 10 best apps and websites to promote STEAM in grades 1 to 12. Please be aware we are recording this session, so if you don't want to be on camera, turn your camera off, and that way we can watch the video later. The recording will be made available on YouTube and shared on I Teach 808's website a week after this event. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Katie and Kylee.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining us this morning for our presentation on the 10 best apps and websites to promote STEAM education in grades 1 through 12. So first, introductions. My name is Katie MacLean. I am the Innovation Center Coordinator at Sacred Hearts Academy, and I focus on STEM education and robotics for grades 1 through 6. I'm a certified library media specialist, and I am certified K-8 elementary education. And here is my husband.
Hello, I'm Mr. MacLean, Kylee. I teach at Sacred Hearts as well. I have AP Computer Science as well as robotics. So it's a fun mix, and I'm in the middle school and upper school range. So, yep. So excited to be here today.
Okay, so I'm going to start off, but first I wanted to lead with our session goal. And I know as teachers, we are juggling a million things all at once. And sometimes when I've gone to PD, I come back with all of these great ideas, but then it just feels like there's even more to juggle. So my goal for you is to come away with at least one thing that you can use and implement or try out in your classroom. While we will be presenting 10, maybe focus on 1 or 2 that you can actually try out with your students. Okay, so the way it's going to work is we're going to be introducing an app or website, and then you'll have a little time to explore, and we will have a recap of each one. So very first website is called Kylee and Adam's STEM Teacher Club. This is geared towards kindergarten through 6th grade, and it does cost money. There's a subscription, but I'm going to tell you it's worth every single penny if you are a STEM teacher. It is online, its platform is web-based, but it comes with over 200 lessons that are ready to go. And there's also professional development. They have a Facebook group that you can be a part of. And, it's just a community of STEM teachers. So I've gotten so many ideas and lessons from this resource. I'm just going to take you to their website and show you a few things that I've done and what it looks like. So when you log in, where is it? No. Sorry, where did it go? There it is. Okay, so when you've purchased it and when you've logged in, which I should also say, you don't even have to purchase the $144 yearly subscription. You can do a monthly subscription, or they also have their products on Teachers Pay Teachers, and you can buy each one individually. But the great deal about the subscription is you have access to all of their content and you can download it for free. So it's a really good deal. So that, they have different activities listed, seasonal STEM challenges, creativity STEM challenges. For Christmas, I read aloud Mistletoe, and there was a STEM challenge ready to go. You just have to prep the materials. The one that I wanted to highlight, though, was this coding challenge. Recently with my students, we learned about binary code. And so this is what the lessons look like. You know, it's all ready to go. Here, I'm going to zoom out just a little so you can see. It's all ready to go. It looks like something you get off of Teachers Pay Teachers, because it is. It has the instructions, all of the worksheets, vocabulary, everything. And, you know, you can modify and use as you need. So basically the students learned about binary code, and then they used 2 different colored beads to make binary code bracelets. And so, you know, they got to choose their colors. And the example I used was white and blue. So I made my blue beads represent zeros of binary code, and the white beads the ones. And so the girls, the students, they went through and they either spelled out their name, or they picked a 4-letter word, any word that they wanted to code. They wrote it out here, and then here's some pictures from the actual lesson. So here they are beading, making their code. Yeah, they look like they're having a great time. They really enjoyed this lesson. So everything that I have used off of this website has been wonderful. I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's worth every penny. And if it's not something that you know you are wanting to dish out of your own pocket, you can always talk to your admin. I highly recommend it, or even just browse their Teachers Pay Teachers store. So I did want to give you a minute, oops, sorry, to just, let me go back to the last one. To just go ahead and look at this website to see if it's something that you might want to add to your toolbox. So you can either scan the QR code, or I'm going to plop the link into the chat. All right. So the next app, website, it's not an app, is Mystery Doug. And this is an awesome resource. Mystery Doug, he has a ton of videos that are mostly science-based. The way it works is a student asks him a question, and then he dives into the question and answers it. It's really appropriate for probably preschool through 6th grade, more the lower elementary though. It's free. He puts out a weekly video, and if you share it with 5 of your friends, you can actually have access to his previous videos. So you don't have to wait for new content. You can go back and look. I'm gonna show you this video. You can see Doug, he's pretty cute.
I'm Doug. I taught elementary school for 7 years. Every week, you'll get a short video that inspires your students to ask questions. It's the perfect break for your morning meeting, snack time, or any transition times in your school day. And I promise there's no cost. It'll be free forever. Here's an example to show you how this works. Each question is submitted by a real student. In under 5 minutes, your class will solve the mystery with me. I'll help students notice clues. We'll pause for discussion, and the whole time I'll show real-life visuals. At the end of the video, I pull out 3 questions from my jar. Your class can vote on the questions they're most curious about to explore in next week's video. And if your students have a question they want answered on the show, you can always submit it online to my jar. There are mysteries all around us. Have fun and stay curious.
All right, so Mystery Dog is awesome. You know, you can really incorporate it into your lessons, or even, you know, if you have snack time. When I taught first grade, I used Mystery Dog during my snack time. It relates to various subject areas, but you can also search his site. So let me find it. Oops. Just gonna exit out of the ones we've done. Okay, so you know, you can search his site. I am going to be doing a bridge unit soon with my sixth graders, and like this video, it connects perfectly. How do you build a bridge that lasts for 100 years? So we're just gonna walk through what one of these looks like.
Hi, it's Jay. Check out these amazing bridges. There are millions of bridges around the world, some built super recently, like this one in Singapore, or this one in Brazil, and others like this stone bridge in the Czech Republic that have been standing for a long time. Someone named James has a question about bridges. Let's give James a call now.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, James.
I have a question for you. How do you build bridges that last over 100 years?
That is a great question. Building a major city bridge is hard. It takes many people. Engineers to design and plan the bridge, politicians and business leaders to raise money and supply materials, construction workers to actually build it, and more. All those people have to work together. Think about if you were a member of a team building a bridge. What job would you want to have? Now would be a good time to pause the video and discuss.
So it has those natural pauses, and you can have discussions with your class. You can see the visuals are like phenomenal, and the explanations are wonderful too.
Okay, are you ready? A lot of work goes into constructing a bridge. Designing it, planning where and when to build it, gathering materials, building, testing, and more. But if the team building it works together, a finished bridge can be an amazing accomplishment. Like, check this out. This is the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge connects two of the busiest parts of New York City, Manhattan and Brooklyn. Even though it's over 100 years old, still thousands of people cross the Brooklyn Bridge each day, and more than 1 million tourists visit it each year. Given that it's one of the most famous and beloved bridges in the entire world, you might think it was built by experts who knew exactly how to make building a bridge go smoothly. But that's not what happened. Building the Brooklyn Bridge was a difficult task from the beginning. The bridge had to be really long because the river it was supposed to cross, the East River, is really wide. The East River was crowded with boats, so the bridge had to be really tall so huge ships could pass underneath. And the bridge had to be really strong enough to support traffic from two of the most crowded cities on Earth. The plan was to start by building 2 tall towers. The base of each tower would be buried deep in the bottom of the river. The bridge itself would hang or suspend from wires attached to the towers. This is what's called a suspension bridge. If everything went according to plan, the Brooklyn Bridge would be the longest bridge ever built and the tallest structure anywhere in North America. But everything did not go according to plan. Construction was one disaster after another. To build the foundations of the towers, workers had to dig deep underwater and underground. For hours and hours each day, they hauled heavy loads of rock and earth around dark, hot, cramped spaces. Many workers quit each week. Even worse, building the towers turned out to be very dangerous. People got hurt and sick from their work. Some even died. 3 years into the build, the unfinished bridge sat in the river, 2 useless hunks of stone and metal. The project had already cost way more money than it was supposed to. Dozens of workers were too injured to return. The project's first leader, the chief engineer, had been killed in a construction accident. Figure out ways.
Okay, just for the sake of time, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to the question part.
That's all for this week's question. Thanks, James, for asking it. Now we'll be back with new episodes in August. But in the meantime, here are some older questions from the question jar. You can vote on which one you think we should send out next week. You can choose from how is glass made? Who invented the alphabet? Or how does hand sanitizer kill germs?
So if you subscribe to Mystery Doug and you get the weekly video and you actually watch it each week, your class can vote on the next question of the week. And then they get really excited if their question that they voted on actually makes it. I wanted to point out too that, it can connect to Google Classroom, and there's also extension activities too. So if you click here, it gives you ideas of things. When Mystery Doug sends out the weekly email, sometimes there will be activities or worksheets attached. And then, like I said before, if you share with 5 of your teacher friends, you can have access to all of these previous videos, and you don't have to wait for the weekly video. There's tons and tons and tons, and you can search here. So Mystery Doug is awesome. I highly recommend it, especially if you teach, 1st through 4th grade. Okay, moving on. Oh, I did want to give you like 30 seconds to a minute. If you wanted to sign up for Mystery Doug, right now would be the perfect time. So I'm going to share the link. The chat. Okay, there's Mystery Doug. You can click on the link, sign up. At some point, it prompts you if you want to share with your 5 friends. I think my mom got the email. Oh, and if you're watching this after the fact, you can scan the QR codes too on each of the slides. Also, at the end, we're going to be sharing these slides, and all of the links will be clickable. Okay, moving on to website app number 3, Brain Pop. So this is a subscription. It is appropriate for kindergarten through 8th grade. There's also Brain Pop Junior, which is more geared towards the lower elementary, like kinder through maybe 2nd or 3rd. But Brain Pop has been awesome as a STEM teacher. They have really informative videos, and I like to use them as sort of introductions to my lessons, but there's also quizzes. And even though it is a subscription, I think it's worth the money. As a classroom teacher, you can sign up. It's a little spendy, $230 a year. Maybe your school subscribes like mine does though. The school subscription is quite a bit more expensive because they base it off of how many students and teachers are going to be using it. But there is the option if you just wanted to buy it for your class. So there's an app, and it's also web-based. I'm going to show you. Here is
Hello.
Our friend.
We just want to give a special Brain Pop welcome to the team at your school. We're excited to continue bringing all kinds of engaging topics and learning activities to your classrooms. As your partners in teaching and learning, we want to help you reach your goals this school year. Brain Pop encourages all learners to be curious and creative. It's adaptable to your lessons and meets your students' various needs and interests. You can start with a Brain Pop movie that helps all students build knowledge and key vocabulary, regardless of reading level. Our auto-graded quizzes and challenge activities get students to practice high-impact literacy skills and provide meaningful ways to assess their understanding. And students can go even deeper with our creative tools, Check out these activities that encourage creative expression, including concept mapping, coding, and movie making. We're here to support you every step of the way with custom curriculum alignments, lesson plans, pacing guides, discussion prompts, and more. Ready to start learning? Get started with our BrainPop 101 interactive tutorial. It shows you how our standards-aligned content and learning activities can deepen and extend your instruction.
So that's Moby, the robot, and Tim, and they're pretty hilarious when you get to watching some of the videos. So I'm going to share this link in the chat. There we go. So you can kind of check it out on your own time. Like I said, I really enjoy the videos. They do a really great job of explaining hard concepts to younger students. And the students really like the videos. They're engaged and they love watching them. Okay. Moving
Hello.
on. Oop.
We just
Number 4, Hour of Code. This website is amazing, and it's free. So it's available all year round, thankfully. You can access the activities and things any time of the year, but there is a main event in December, and people from all over the globe, students, teachers, can participate in this. I'll show you the video, and then I wanted to highlight my students' most favorite activity from this year.
Okay, now you're gonna press run. This is so cool!
Hour of Code.
The hour of code. या प्रोग्रामी आपको नाच हेलो तो खास खुद.
Your teacher says you guys are into it.
We are. It's very awesome.
Students around the world had an hour of code today, part of a global movement to show kids what it takes to create the programs and apps they spend so much time using. The largest education events in history.
Organizers set what they called an ambitious goal, reaching 10 million students this week. Almost 15 million signed up.
This week, I'm proud to join the students, teachers, businesses, and nonprofit organizations taking new steps to support computer science in America's schools.
You guys are already getting a head start on taking over the world.
I got it. They've been so excited about it.
They don't even have to be a computer science engineer. Maybe they want to do something else. But in our world, this is going to be the basis for everything that we do.
Move. Semicolon.
Look what I did.
It's so beautiful.
When you're building a program, you have to think outside of the box.
If you can change technology, you can change the world.
I challenge girls in every single country to learn 1 hour of code.
Every district should do, every district can do it. Please help us get the hour of code to every school and every classroom and every child.
And my school's doing it.
Okay, so I plopped the link into the chat, and if you sign up, I'm pretty sure that they give you like a reminder when it gets close to December, like Hour of Code is happening soon, and then you can start preparing in December. So it's very simple. Each activity gives step-by-step tutorials, so students can very easily learn coding. Okay, I wanted to show you when you go to the website and you click on activities, it is arranged by grade level. You can search the activities by grade level. Like, so if I wanted to do 2 through 5, I specifically searched for dance party because that's what I want to show you. But, you know, It connects to Minecraft, Space Invaders. I mean, there are so many, it's like games to the kids, but it's teaching them coding. So you can have fun exploring different ones, or you can allow your students to maybe choose. I think the way it was intended was for you to choose one activity to do with your whole class, but these could also be used for, students who are really interested in code and maybe they have some extra time. Okay, so here is dance party. Okay, so it has teacher resources, lots of information. The students can click start. You can just share this link with them also. And then so it starts off right away with a tutorial of like what they're going to be doing.
Hi, my name is Miral Kadvi, and I'm a dancer, software developer, and creator of Illuminate. Computer science relates to creativity in numerous ways, immeasurable really. I mean, once you have the ability to write software, you can put ideas into anything. I do it with light suits. There's so much you can do once you have the tools to write software, and the possibilities are really endless. Over the next hour, you're going to get started with computer science by programming your own dance party. We've assembled some hit music and a team of great dancers for you to play with. You'll be using blocks of code to choose different dancers. Change your dance moves, make them respond to the music, and make them interactive. You'll see that your screen is split into 3 main parts. On the left is a play space. This is where your dancers will show up. The middle area is a toolbox. New blocks of code will be available in this space as you go through the lessons. The space to the right is the workspace. You can drag blocks out of the toolbox.
So as you can see, it's very step-by-step. It shows the students exactly what to do. Eventually they get to pick, a character, there's a cat, I think there's a unicorn, and then they code the character to dance. And the music is like, they have a choice in what music they want. It is school appropriate.
If you're feeling stuck.
Okay. So, oops, let me exit out of this. I'm just gonna give you like 30 seconds to click on the link. And if you want to, bookmark it, save it for later, maybe sign up for emails, you can go ahead and do that now.
Okay, now
Okay, so this is my final app, number 5, that I'll be showing you, and then Mr. MacLean will be taking over and showing more of the upper school side of the things that we'll be showing you today. Breakout EDU though is amazing. It's for any grade level. It's got a filter just like Hour of Code did, and you can find the appropriate grade level that you're looking for. This is web-based. It is a subscription. However, you can find free ones. There are, a few on the website, but again, I think it's worth the subscription if you are a STEM teacher. There's 2 different formats. There's a digital format of the Breakout EDU games, and there's also a physical lockbox. It's almost like an escape room, but it's a box. So the main goal of Breakout EDU is it's connecting to educational content, but it teaches the students problem solving, collaboration skills, those soft skills that our kids need to learn also.
One of the best parts about being an educator is seeing aha moments that spark curiosity, that develop skills to prepare students for the future, and transform my classroom into a place where all learners succeed. Breakout EDU levels up classrooms into immersive, learner-centered experiences, boosting engagement, problem solving, and critical thinking skills with immersive kit-based experiences and interactive standards-aligned digital games. My classroom is a mysterious archaeological dig 1 minute and an exciting galaxy expedition the next. Breakout EDU challenges my class's content knowledge, inspires student collaboration, and empowers them with the skills they need in and out of the classroom. Plus, students can create their own games, demonstrating their comprehension and creativity. And I love that Breakout EDU seamlessly integrates into any lesson plan. Create more aha moments and unlock the love of learning with Breakout EDU.
Okay, so I plopped the link into the chat. This is what it looks like once you've subscribed. I'm gonna actually go home. They have tons of digital and also the physical lesson plans too. So if you are looking for digital only, you can toggle it to digital if you have the physical kits. Also, I will say some libraries have the kits that you can check out too. So if we search for digital and then, grade level, you can search for any grade level. If you're looking to tie it into science or library, elementary, you can toggle those. I wanted to show you code world. So this relates to computer science. So when you go to it, it gives you the solutions, which is good because, before I do these with my students, I always try to do it first. And that way it gives me an idea of where they're going to get stuck. Because if I'm getting stuck, they're definitely getting stuck. So it also gives you an explanation of maybe a clue. So when my students get stuck, I usually give them a clue. And then if they're still stuck, I give them another clue. You don't want them to reach the point of frustration where they give up, especially when they do, the first few breakout EDUs, the amount of time for them to get frustrated is a lot shorter. So the more they do these, the better they get at, seeing the puzzle pieces and putting them together. So it does have the answer key, which is really great. That being said, I was going to give you about let's see, it's 8:34 now. About 10 minutes to either, take a short break. I know an hour and a half is a long time. Or you can go ahead and try out this breakout EDU. So I'm going to plop that link in the chat. Copy. All right, so if you'd like to try out this digital game, the link is in the chat. And then at 8:45, we'll come back. So if you need to go to the bathroom or if you want to explore any of the other apps, now would be a good time too. But when we come back, I will be asking if anybody was able to break out. Okay, we'll be back at 8:45. Also, I'll be here if you have questions or need any help with the breakout. Okay. Hopefully that gave you enough time to kind of explore Breakout EDU or another website or app that you were really interested in. Would anybody like to share something interesting they found? Or does anyone have any questions? Okay, if not, we are going to go ahead and move on. So I'm going to switch it over to Mr. Kylee MacLean. Okay.
All right, hi everyone. So we are going to pick up the next portion of our topics. So we will have apps, websites, resources 6 through 10. The first one that I use quite regularly, just rotate just a little bit in the sun. All right, so what I use a lot for my class, for my AP specific class, is code.org. So we'll watch a short video. Code.org was actually created with a bunch of the different major tech companies. So you have Amazon, Microsoft, Google. They've all pooled and pitched in together to create code.org. It's completely free, so you can use it whenever you'd like. And there's so many different resources, but we'll start with the video and here we go.
I think it's really important for girls to study computer science. I think for a long time, the world thought that some things were for boys and some things were for girls, and everyone understands now that boys and girls can have equal opportunity.
If we could just, support girls and give them that initial encouragement, that we can start balancing the scales, and then we won't even have to play with the equation because it will just be a natural flow.
Be able to code gives you the freedom to build anything. And that is just so empowering.
I like having that power in my own hands to express what's in my imagination using programming.
Just the experience of programming gives you access to a new method of thinking. Everything becomes the steps that you can take towards a solution. And that is just extremely valuable.
It's one thing to use software. It's a totally different thing to get to change how the software you use actually works.
Yeah, all of my favorite memories from computer science are actually programming together with teams. I don't think CS is a solo thing. Nothing is. If you want to build something amazing, you usually have to do it in a team, and CS is no different.
You all live in a time where expressing yourself, learning about different people, making a business, and a real difference in your communities is all totally possible. With computers, it's right at your fingertips.
It's not about being a girl or being a boy. It's about being talented. Computer science needs more talented people who are not afraid of being creative and making the world a better place.
Jump into it, learn, just try and take one class, give it 1 hour. It's amazing what you can learn in 1 hour.
And that's what's so exciting about Hour of Code. All of you were able to participate from all parts of the country, at all ages, from all different backgrounds. And that's what will create the right opportunities for everyone.
Every girl deserves to take part in creating the technology that will change our world and change who runs it. I challenge girls in every single country to learn 1 hour of code.
Technology touches every part of our lives. So if you can change technology, you can change the world.
All right, so that's a good little video. It actually kind of ties in with what Katie had spoken with earlier about Hour of Code. So Hour of Code does use parts of code.org as the technology. So what I will do is I will copy the link for you and I'll drop it into the chat. So 1 second. All right, so if you actually click on the link, it'll take you to basically the whole, oops. 1 second, looks like my screen sharing got paused. All right, so jump back. Sorry, 1 second. All right, so I'm just going to go out of the full screen mode. So if you actually look at here, we have code.org. All right, so in here, there are basically every grade level. So K through 5, 6 through 12, and then even more focused areas after K-12. So like right now with my AP Computer Science students, we have been working and preparing for the AP exam. That is all within. So if you take a look at whatever grade band you're in, you can see all different opportunities. There's really cool aspects of code.org. You can mix and match pieces. You can choose different modules. Like for my intro to computer science class, we start off with a lot of computational thinking, and then eventually we work towards building our full-blown game, similar to like a Mario style. So it's a side scroller, jumping and trying to avoid obstacles, kind of like the Dino game if you've ever lost connection. So not only is it classes and tools, it also actually has some extra career exploration. So trying to encourage people to get into computer science. One of the biggest things that I tell my students, regardless of what you want to do in the future, it's probably going to be augmented or work in parallel with computer science. So I tell students if they want to be a surgeon someday, right now they have the technology to operate across the globe. So you could one day be doing possibly surgery in one spot using robotics and all sorts of amazing technology to operate. So that's some exciting futures ahead of us. But yeah, I would say definitely if you get a chance to look at code.org, there are all sorts of cool things. And it's not just the typical coding. So there's all sorts of different connections you can make. And yeah, so take about 30 seconds to explore if you'd like a little bit. Maybe check your grade band for whatever you might teach. And then we'll move on to our next item. All right, hopefully that was enough time to kind of at least be able to take a look at code.org. You can always either scan the code later once we post the slides, or you have the link in the chat. The next one, which is actually really cool. So Mrs. MacLean and I this summer actually got to go to Carnegie Mellon, and we actually were at the Carnegie Mellon Robotics Academy, which is really cool. So what Carnegie Mellon has done is they have created an entity outside of the university that allows them to get different levels of clearance. It allows them to get private contracts, government contracts. So they do all sorts of amazing things. When we were there, we got to see a couple self-driving cars that they were working on. So yeah, it's really, really exciting. And it's all part of the Carnegie Mellon legacy. So the funds continue to build, and they are encouraging people to be involved in the future, taking an active part. So I'll show you a little video. I don't think we'll get through the whole thing, but we will start it.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be exploring the engineering design process and how you go from an idea to a finished product in the real world. Carnegie Mellon Robotics Institute is the world's biggest and best robotics research facility. NREC, or the National Robotics and Engineering Center, develops custom robotic solutions for complex problems. The engineering design process is used all throughout the real world. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, let's define our problem. SensorBot is a mobile robot developed by NREC to inspect industrial facilities using a wide array of sensors. Our goal is to build a functioning recreation of SensorBot using the LEGO Spike Prime educational robotics platform, and doing so in a simplified manner to allow for obvious constraints. Our next step is going to be to define our criteria and constraints for this project. First off, we want an all-terrain drive based on the LEGO bot to match SensorBot. Next, we need a source of light and a sensor boom to perform complex inspection. We also need teleoperated control capabilities so we can operate the robot remotely. And finally, a host of safety features to make sure the robot is safe to use. Now let's talk about step 2 of the engineering design process, generating our concept. For us, this step involves picking the various components that we're going to use to accomplish our criteria and constraints. We have the light matrix hub, some all-terrain wheels, different types of rods for our sensor boom, and then finally the sensors themselves. Now for step 3, actually developing our solution, both mechanically and with software. A powerful tool in this step of the process is CAD, or computer-aided design software, which in this case is LEGO Studio. After we have our final design fleshed out, we can begin assembling all the pieces together to match our CAD drawing. We attach big all-terrain wheels at the back to accomplish that step of the criteria. Then we position a light matrix up to act as a lighting source. Up top, we have an ultrasonic sensor that measures distance, and down below, we have our sensor room with a color sensor mounted on the end. After connecting their components to the hub, we're ready to move on to the code. The LEGO Mindstorm software relies on simple block coding to provide a visual introduction to coding. The code blocks are split into various groups that have their own functions, such as moving the robot, interfacing with the sensors, control, and even advanced operations, such as creating variables and custom blocks to do complex tasks. The design process consists primarily of testing the prototype, where we can see if our final product meets the criteria and change it if it doesn't. The lights on a robot check off the illumination criteria. An all-terrain drive base allows a robot to navigate with ease.
All right, so I'm not sure if you have a robotics program, maybe use Lego, maybe use Vex. The cool thing about the CS STEM network, part of CMU, they actually have all the various robotics programs and tools to go along with that. So I would say now would be a good time, go and either scan the QR code, or I will copy the link and I'll put it in the chat. All right, so you should be able to see all of the catalog items that they have as far as
welcome back.
All of the items they have. So let me open this up. All right, so the cool thing about CS2N is you can actually search by all the different types. So you can either have Vex, Lego, EV3, Spike Prime, Shieldbot, and then you can also even with the larger robots, you have the FRC and FIRST. If you do happen to have a Vex program, there's also the IQ, which would kind of be like upper elementary, middle school range. So we can just go and click that. So let's click that and we'll see what we have. So in here, we can start off with just very simple movement. It will actually give you the code. It typically gives you like a small video and just some walkthroughs. So we don't have to go through all of this, but just kind of showing what you get. So you get the student thinking. So hopefully based on the video you watched or maybe some lecture you had in class, you'd be able to answer some of these or at least get you thinking. And then what it actually does is it walks you through the process, shows you how to add the code, shows you what it looks like. So if you do have a robotics program, COVID, things like this were really valuable because they allowed you to send a robot home with a student so they could be physically working while they're going through this, rather than just purely all online, which is really cool having VR. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I do think that this tool that CMU created is amazing. It's all free. There is a premium version, if you'll notice up here in the left-hand corner. The only thing that really does is it allows you to easily connect with Google Classroom. So it loads your roster, pulls everything right in. I have plans to do premium. We just got a bunch of new robots for our program, so we're gonna probably subscribe this next week for premium. And then that will allow us to easily connect and share items. So if you want to explore this anymore, you can. But yeah, again, all of these materials are completely free. It also allows you to have certifications. So you yourself can get certified as a teacher, and then your students can actually end up with a certification, which is amazing because someday they have that in their portfolio. They want to have that exposure. They want to either continue on with robotics, or they want to say, hey, I'm going to be a dentist, a doctor, whatever it might be, but I have exposure to robotics and I'd love to be on the cutting edge of technology. So go ahead, if you are in here, if you want to look around, you can see all the different curriculum they have. You can actually search computational thinking. So if you want to focus less on the actual coding or the actual building the robot, you can think and work through more of the computational thinking, which is really, really important because that goes between all your different subjects, not just computer science and robotics. So I'm going to go back to our slide now. Take about 30 seconds if you'd like, and we will be right back. Really quick, are there any questions? I saw there was a question for Mrs. MacLean actually about Mystery Doug and music. Let me check with her and I will be right back to hopefully answer your question.
Thank you.
All right, Deb, I am back. So I just checked with Ms. MacLean. She said she will look into that for you right now. And then she'll hopefully let you know by the end. Otherwise, she can send you an email with that.
All right, great. Thanks.
Are there any other questions that you have so far? I know it's a lot to take in. All these resources are so vast and are just a wealth of amazing knowledge all put in one place, and I know it's a lot to take in. So if there's any questions, you can always add it to the chat, or you can always send us an email afterwards too. All right, really quick, why don't we do this? If you can give me a thumbs up response, I think it is. Let's see. So if you go to reaction, if you have ever seen or if you've ever played Minecraft or seen students play Minecraft, go and give me some sort of reaction, whether that's a thumbs up, confetti, could give a thumbs down. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Cool. So some thumbs down. That's also okay. So, oops, sorry. So Minecraft education is actually an amazing platform because it takes the Minecraft that students have been playing for years and actually gives us as educators a ton of controls. So when I first looked into Minecraft education, I was trying to figure out a way to, it was kind of at the peak of COVID. So I was trying to figure out how can I deal with some of these complex robotics concepts when I have students at home. So I came up with some ideas about chain reactions, and it was just amazing. So with education, as the educator, you give a class code. So it's like 4 different shapes typically. You could write on the board, you can print out, you can share it. The students are then able to join your server as they kind of use for Minecraft. They join your server, it's just your class, and then you can actually set limitations. So you could say no battling, or you can make it specific modes. You can say it's always going to be daytime. You can actually teleport students to you. So if you do have a lesson plan, which there's so many lesson plans. So Deb, you'd asked about Mystery Dog and music. Minecraft education also has music. So they are really bridging the gap between every discipline. So last year, I actually had world history classes as well as US history classes. And I had students make some amazing projects using Minecraft. I mean, we're talking full-blown recreation, cities, very elaborate, down to the types of food that would actually have been around the city and village at the time. So we'll watch this video real quick. I will mention that Minecraft education, after being purchased by Microsoft, they brought it under its wing. So if you do have, if your school is a Microsoft school, your students typically get, I think it's a 7-day free trial to it. And depending on your school, you can also probably get some sort of discount, or it might be lumped in. If you don't, and you're more of like a Google school, you can typically pay, I think, $5.04. And it's probably specific. I'm not sure why they chose $5.04. Yeah, I'm not sure. The other option could be, I think, $12 per user. So if you were wanting to use this for a small class, I think that it is definitely worth it, because the creations that students make are over the top and amazing. So we'll watch this quick video and then maybe just think of some ideas and how you might tie it in. I'm not sure if everyone, what your specialty is, but hopefully music, social studies, anything could really be connected. So we'll watch this video real quick and hopefully you enjoy.
We are born learners. We crave new challenges and new adventures. Our creativity is limitless. And when we learn through play, amazing, often unexpected things happen. In schools and in homes around the world, students are using Minecraft to build cities, explore coral reefs, to create with code, run science experiments, and to tell fantastic stories. Minecraft has always been about exploration and discovery, bringing together a global community of co-creators. Now, the next generation of engineers, biologists, and designers are inspiring us with their creations. Minecraft Education Edition empowers learners to solve problems they care about, to connect in new ways far beyond the classroom, and to build a better world through the power of play.
So as you saw in the video, you see students just what appears to them just be them playing, but really they are using the skills that they know. So the clicking, the moving around, they're taking those skills and then also they're able to program. So they can use the code blocks. I've actually had some really cool creations. So I had a student create, I'm trying to think of the best way to think of. Imagine a big sheet of ice that as you walk around, as pressure is put on them, the blocks start to fall. So then you kind of have to hop around, kind of a cool situation. And then if you fall down, then the level starts over, recreates itself with code, and then you can try your maze again and run around. So what I will do is I'm going to click on the link. I'll give to you that in the chat box as well. So a second. All right, so if you click that, oops. If you click the link, you can actually see a ton of different lesson plans that they have for you. So let's see, is someone willing to share out what one of your specialties are? You can just either add in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, you can just give a shout out and we'll try to find something that might be of interest to you. All right, so let's do this. I will just click explore lessons, and then we can actually see if anything pops out at you that way then. So what it actually does is it gives you typically, so Minecraft, you have a, you could download a world. So think about this as like a template. So maybe it's just like a worksheet that you download off maybe Teachers Pay Teachers, but instead you get this whole vast world. So you can build stuff ahead of time rather than having to build it all in real time. So let's see. We will take a look at art and design. So if you click art design, they actually go through. You can actually even further search within. So you have all these different things. So you could do patterns and motifs. You can pick something about Halloween or all sorts of different things. So if maybe your focus is on Italy, it has a city of Florence that was built using Minecraft. This one is actually really cool. So the Create Your Own Museum, you can actually add items to the museum. There's paintings, all sorts of stuff. It's really, there's no real limit to the imagination that people have put into it. There's actually whole clubs based on Minecraft. So you could have a club that works together. So if you have students that are really, really driven, they love building in Minecraft. I've seen clubs that are created where maybe you work with a teacher, the group of students that are very into Minecraft, and they can actually create these sorts of buildings for you. So if you say, my upcoming lesson is on, let's say, colonial America, and I want to try to recreate and show what it looks like without having to show a video or show a movie, because honestly, movies are kind of passive. With Minecraft, you can actually have the students walking around, exploring things. They'd see, oh, there are these chickens or whatever it might be. And maybe they'll learn something new that they might not have otherwise. So, yeah, it's really cool. I would highly suggest if you get a chance to branch out and maybe try somehow connecting Minecraft education to your exact subject. I would also say if you do have an esports team at your school or any sort of digital media club, you can reach out and ask, hey, are there students that either could show me around, they can show you like a walkthrough. But yeah, it's really cool, and I don't think you'd be disappointed if you found a lesson or two that could really drive engagement, because when students enjoy, they know what they're doing, they really seem to have a lot of fun. So go ahead, take about 30 seconds if you want to look around anymore, if you need to get stretch. I know sometimes sitting for so long is a little rough, and it is a Saturday morning. So thank you again for being here. We're grateful to share our tips and tricks with you. But yeah, so go and take 30 seconds. I'm going to turn off my video real quick, do a little stretch, and then I will be back. All right, hopefully that was a good little chance to get a stretch, drink a little bit of coffee if you need to. So the next item that I have that I've actually found that I really, really like, I actually use it as an extended learning opportunity slash kind of like an additional study tool for my AP Computer Science class. So students all learn differently, and maybe the way that I explain a topic maybe wasn't the best for them. Maybe they would rather read an article. Maybe they'd rather watch a video that they can go through, watch as many times as they need to. That's what I found Khan Academy really does great with. So Khan Academy, if you haven't used it, it was actually founded by Saul Khan. His intention was to give back, and he wanted to share out little videos on math and technology. It is actually expanded to almost every subject now. I think you can find business, technology, just about everything in Khan Academy. So I think we'll actually skip this video. You can actually go back and watch it if you'd like later, but I'm gonna click on Khan Academy. I'll give you that link as well. So there you go. I did specifically click the computing, but again, you can look here. So if we have math, so you can click any level of math, pre-K through grade 2. I know math is one of those areas that a lot of math teachers have expressed that we're seeing students at a lower level than they might or should be at their current grade level. So this could be a good way to assign some additional work to help build the students' skills up. So you have math, you have even have test prep now. So it's actually really cool. So if your students have taken the SAT, PSAT, you can actually tie the two together, and then it gives them tailored testing, like things they were less proficient at. It gives them more of that to study. But yeah, so it's amazing. I think most things, I don't know if there's actually music, so sorry about that one. But there are tons of other things. There's history, you have computer science, reading, language arts, even things such as financial literacy. Internet safety is always important that our students do have some sort of internet safety. So if you don't have that in your school, you can always supplement that in your classroom. So, but yeah, I would say if you get a chance, take a look. There are these things called mastery levels. So you can assign X amount of mastery level points that they have to complete by a certain time. Basically what that does is they have to watch a certain amount of videos, answer a certain number of questions. There's quizzes, tests. So it's a really great resource, and it's completely free. It's a nonprofit, and Saul Khan says that it will be free forever. So, that is awesome. If you want to take a look for anything you find helpful, or you can supplement your lessons with, I would suggest. All right, so we are about 10 minutes left, I think. So again, thank you for being here. Can I go through to the next thing? All right, so this is actually probably one of my favorite current tools. It's VexCode VR. I mentioned earlier with the other platform about having physical robots at home that you can take home, but robots can be expensive. Robotics programs can be quite cost prohibitive from allowing equity for everyone. So that is where I think VexCode VR really shines. You're able to jump right in. You have a robot that you're able to focus on. The one nice thing about this is if you do have a smaller robotics program, you could have like half your class working on building. You can have half your class actually moving around, manipulating, and programming the robot. So with VexCode VR, it is a free program. They do have a standalone Windows and Mac version for download. It also does work on Chromebooks. I did have an older Chromebook that a student used, and when we did use a little bit more of the like VR, where you're actually looking at it from like a first person or third person view, actually, it did get a little bit slow and eventually did crash, but I think the Chromebook might have been a little bit on the older side. But I'll show you this video real quick, and then I'd like to give you a chance to play around with it. So I might cut the video short, but we'll start to walk.
Welcome to VexCode VR, the solution to keeping students engaged in robotics, STEM, and computer science anytime, anywhere in the world. In 2020, millions of educators worldwide were being asked to teach from their living rooms instead of their classrooms. So our mission became to provide those teachers with a way to remain connected to their students and Vex Robotics. So we created VexCode VR. VexCode VR is a completely web-based platform that combines our familiar VexCode software with a virtual robot, allowing students to learn computer science at home using block-based and Python coding without the need for a physical robot.
In 2020, when we were virtual, my students, and it's difficult for elementary students,
is probably different to so many.
All right, so what I think I'll have you do now is I'm actually going to go to the next slide. And also right now, I'll also tell you there is a code if you do choose to go with the premium plan. It just allows for a little bit more functionality. And I think it's $200 off right now. So I can give you that code as well if you're interested. So let's see, I'm going to drop this link for you. I actually created a classroom for us. If you want to, you can completely join. You should be able to do it from your computer. So no matter what device you have, hopefully you're able to. It probably will not work on a phone. So if you do just have a phone, this might not work, but you can always come back to this. I will leave this class live for the next couple of weeks or so. So hopefully that we get a chance to play around, but let's go ahead and do this. So with the VexCode VR, they have all of these lesson plans. What I really like about this is that there's all these differentiations. So in my robotics class, I have a robotics 1 and a robotics 2. They actually have blocks and they have a Python version as well. So if as the student, what I have going on right now is I have my robotics 1 class, they are doing the blocks. My robotics 2 class, they're actually doing the Python. So very similar. The nice thing is that they're still doing similar items, working towards similar goals. They're able to help each other out. So hopefully you got the link. And when you click it, it should take you to the actual web app. So make sure if you click this link, you don't have to do anything, but if you get there another way, you can put this code in. So maybe if you're able to take a screenshot of the challenges, I can have you kind of go back. But again, if you have different levels of students, very, very first time, I normally start with them at level 1 and then have them work their way up. Sometimes I'll have them do all 3. They are repetitive, but by the second or third one, you can really see that, oh, this is clicking. I'm able to see this logically progress, and it gets a little more complex, but then they're still building on it. So go ahead if you're able to see. Okay, 5-minute warning. So yep, we are almost done, but let's go ahead and click on this real quick and see what we can do in the next minute or two. So I always like to have some sort of make or explore. So if you're here, you will go up here to the file and you will go to a new blocks project. These are all the different options you have. So you have this playground that you choose to start off with. What you're going to select is you're going to select Castle Crasher Plus. So if you select that, you can drag items right across. So if you have any exposure or familiarity with blocks, it's really nice and easy. You can just drag this item over. So when started, drive forward. We can turn right. We can turn right. Maybe we'll make a mess of something. Maybe I'm also going to add in a distance. So we are going to just go up here to the upper right corner, click start. So I'm going to click start. You can actually have 2 different views. You can have a bird's eye view, or you can have kind of like a third person, or actually, I guess there's 3. You can have a first person view as well. So I think I preferred the third person because the robot moving around was a little bit much for me. So it might take just a second to load, but we can see my robot kind of dancing here. I don't think it hit the castle walls or knocked anything off, but you can kind of get the point. So you get the castle view from above, and it'll actually tell you how much you were able to clear. So if you go up here, you want to add a little bit of code. So my robot seemed to work, but it didn't go far enough. So maybe I put it to 500, and then we try to start it and run again. All right, so see if 500 does it. We'll start. Oh, got to the gate, got cold feet, and is just doing a little dance in front. So I think that's about all the time we have. Mrs. MacLean is back here with me, and I will let her kind of wrap it up for us.
So this is just a bonus. We're going to skip this one though. If you have time, I recommend checking out Google Arts and Culture on your own. I have fun playing around with it, but there's tons of connections to, famous pieces of artwork, and you can incorporate those into your lessons. Ooh, we're going to skip you. No, skip. Oh dear, sorry. This is just a page, and all of these links are clickable. They're more apps or websites that I've used in the past. They're great resources. They're all free. We only have 1 minute, so let's just reflect back. Hopefully you have at least one of these tools that you will be able to use or try out in your classroom. Take 30 seconds, maybe make an intention. I'm going to try out Vex Code or the Vex VR. All right, and then, last but not least, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Sacred Hearts Academy and the Augustine Educational Foundation, for making this I Teach 808 conference possible. And then last but not least, I'm going to share the link to our presentation. I'll be sharing that with Laurel Oshiro also, so that it can be posted on the I Teach 808 website. But that is our time. If you have any questions, we'll be hanging back. And then I know I emailed Deb already. There's not really any videos related to music on Mystery Dug. I did find one that had to do with why whales sing. I know that's a stretch though. So I, in my email back to Deb, I let her know that TED Ed is also a great resource with lots of videos. So if you haven't heard of TED Ed, you can check that out. All right, thank you everyone.
We want to say thank you to Katie and Kylie for this wonderful presentation. And thank you all for participating. We hope that you found this session helpful and that you wrote down a couple of things. I know I did. Special thanks again to our sponsors, Sacred Hearts Academy and Augustine Educational Foundation, for making this conference free for 10 years. If you would help us complete the survey on the website, iteach808.com, we can continue to receive grant funding. You'll also receive a certificate of participation after completing the survey and automatically enter to win one of 10 $10 Target gift cards if you complete the survey by February 4th. The survey will also be sent to the email address that you registered with. So make sure to check your spam folder for any emails from iteach808hawaii@gmail.com. Thank you for being here today, and please join us for the next sessions. Have a great day.